Well, Joe, did we do some cursing?
Yep.
We did. Well, we did something good. Alright? We got this POS out. Alright, so here's the difference between Exhibit A and Exhibit B. I'm pretty sure that the Wilmar and this one are identical as to spacing, which it is. The only difference is that this one doesn't grab as much as what this one does. Now, I don't think I ever had an issue with them slipping, but what? Oh, boy, that would have felt good, huh? All right, let's get this thing over on the bench. Ah, the hell with it. I got to torch these off. So actually, I'm going to reuse this one. It's ugly and nasty and stuff, but this is a solid piece of steel. These sprockets are sandwiched. They're actually 1, 2, 3, 4 individual pieces that are locked onto that shaft, and I think at some point they were supposed to be a replaceable thing, but let me tell you something, there ain't a hope in hell other than a 50-ton press or 100-ton press is going to press that one shaft out of there, and I, for one, am not going to do that. So I'm going to use the blue tip wrench. I'm going to torch them off of there. Got it? Alright, Joseph, you can record this bit of madness. Alright, my beautiful gift from Carl on. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Whereas honestly, it's better to go this way than to use this pair of sunglasses. And I wonder if you could blow up. Sniff that stuff and then light it. To blow your lungs out. I bet it would. I don't see why not. I'm not going to try that.
No.
But I often wondered. I always do the sniff test to see if it's working. Now it's just a matter of beating it off of there. Sanding it down, putting the new inserts on. Right?
Right.
Alright, let's get that over to the workbench. You ready to go yet, Jim?
No, I'm still going to do the front.
Oh, Jesus, you want to fucking around or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to put things on.
I thought you had them all off of there this morning.
I have all the wheels on, and I have all the discs on.
Oh.
Because I didn't know which ones were better.
Ow.
Okay. What do you know? Hot!
Jesus.
Made you dance! Yeah. Well, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be, but... Okay, that's history. It hit you?
No, it's just closing my eyes because I've had enough metal in my eyes for
one
the
lifetime?
Yep.
Alright, I gotta take this back over there. Because I didn't get it all the way through.
My grease gun stopped pumping.
You what?
I said my grease gun had stopped pumping.
What?
The rocket's stuck inside.
The what?
The a rock you got stuck inside where the ball bearing is.
Interesting. Where the hell did you get a rock?
I don't know. I was just pumping and it just locked up.
Where the hell is this thing taking
So damn long now.
What did I get? Did I turn the oxygen on?
You might have.
Yep. Jesus.
You called?
Yeah. Oh, there's only like $200 worth of tools here. Okay. Totally amazing. These are standard drive sprockets to put on a 1-inch shaft. That's all. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're actually going to clean out this groove for a simple reason. We need it clean to put the new sprocket on that I've got. If I didn't say this before, I'll say it again. There you go. I think we're good. I'm not even going to bother to really do too much to it other than maybe I've got this sandpaper here, and I just need to take some of that rust off. See, rust doesn't, oops, the rust only goes between, it doesn't get between the what do you call it, on the shaft. It goes on the outside of the shaft where there's no, that's where it rusts it. It doesn't rust where the surface meets because it can't get in there, no water can get in there. So as ugly as this thing is, it's still perfectly usable. I'm sure that if this was a fertilizer, if this still belonged to the fertilizer plant, they would just throw these parts away and start over because they rent these spreaders out. They get rented. They're not a, they get rented out, so they're making money with them. So they sell you fertilizer for an exorbitant amount of money. And they rent you the spreader for what you feel is a good deal. And, you know, for maybe $5 a ton or $15. I think it's $15 a load if you buy it out of the fertilizer plant. Well, I've already done for this, but that, you know, you're paying what they ask for the fertilizer. So it's expensive to do it that way. How you doing, Joe?
Recording.
I said how.
Oh, good.
Alright, so what I've done is I have re-slid that piece of junk back in there, and now I'm going to tighten, not tighten, but snug up the bearing pillow blocks, because I need to readjust them so they're where they belong. And then I'm going to go ahead and once I get them adjusted, then I'll tighten them up and tighten the bottom up too. Kind of weird the way that's sitting, but alright.
Don't we have to tighten up the back side of that?
No, we're just no, not at all. We want that thing to be raised up. I'm gonna have to got. I'll have to be that up my ass.
I know. Oh crap! I got this silver shit on my hand.
Yeah, you're fucked now.
Why?
That shit don't come off.
Oh crap!
It takes years.
Years.
Years. Not gears. Years.
They said years. So that's gonna be on my hand for years.
Literally. For years.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to. It's not my hand. Trouble with gear wrenches is you gotta be pretty careful. Alright. Okay. You want that thing to slide down the center just the way it's supposed to. There's slots in there. And you want them to pick up the, I don't know if those pillow blocks are the same size or not, but you want them to pick up the chain a little bit as it comes out of there, because that fertilizer is going to want to come down and land there. You want them as even as possible. And in order to do that, you got to be right there. I think we're good. And you also want them to be flush here. Like that. And I'll do the other side in a second. And you want them to be like, oh, see? That silver grease?
Great.
It's called never. Can you believe that? Ow, fingers. Didn't need them. So the reason I put that on there is because it's just the, for future. When I go to take this thing apart the next time, it'll slide right off. I like Never Seas. Never Seas is a really good product, you know. Some people say, oh, you put that on there, it's going to cause problems. Well, it don't. It only causes problems if you don't properly tighten down your set screws. And one thing you definitely don't ever want to do is tighten these pillow blocks up with something underneath them, because it just snaps them. So we're getting there. I don't expect to be spinning on fertilizer yet today. It might be in the dark, but I'll do it. Some of you locals that I know that watch my channel think that I'm crazy because I work all the time, and well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but there's a reason I am where I am, and that is because I work hard. Because someday, yes, someday, I will not be able to work this hard. My body will fail me. And then my sons can take it over. And hopefully the brickwork that I laid for them will be appreciated and carried on. If not, fuck them all. What? You didn't like that, Joe? You don't like being told? Fucker. What? You got hand problems?
Yeah.
Pussy. It's a horse, you know. Alright. Okay. Now, alright, I'm going to take these off, and we're going to move to phase 2. Alright, how many minutes we got on that thing? We might have to cut something. It's only 5 minutes. Yeah, what's with the goofy face? Okay, so that there is on there. I haven't set the set keys yet, or the set screws yet, but we're going to get Joseph here on his wrench, 1-inch wrench, and he's going to tighten this thing up until it's slacked nice. And those bearings on there are just fine, so we're not going to worry about that end. But that's his job. And there's a cable that's rotted up because, well, let's face it, this thing sat for... This thing was clean, though. That's what really gets me. I mean, we washed it, threw oil in it, and it's still rotted up like this. Really hard to keep these things from rusting. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to move on to the sprocket side, which I have purchased a 42-tooth sprocket for this thing. That would be here, this guy here, and of course this here. this will be what I need. The reason I bought a 42, it's supposed to have a 40 on it for the slow side. You know, I think I explained this a little earlier, but it's 66 pounds of density. Its density is 66. In the low speed, at 1.5 inches, I can only get it down to 82 pounds. Now, on the high speed at 65 pounds, I can only get it to 202 pounds. So the difference is 12 pounds per tooth. So I added 2 teeth. I should be pretty close to 50 pounds the acre. That's all I really want to do. And then I'll just adjust the chart as I go. So anyways, let me get this thing on there and get ready. Alright, getting one step closer. Nothing is tightened up here other than the pillow blocks. I have not tightened up even this tensioner here. It's pretty well shot. I got to put a stainless steel nut on that or something new. What you really want to do before you tighten everything up, and that is to put your chain on, get everything lined up where you think it should be, at least close, and then you start to tighten these. Now, what happens is this hub actually stays still as you're tightening it, drawing the sprocket inward. So you kind of want to make it a little bit on the offset side, and there's leeway. It's not like set in stone, but there's leeway. And then you just draw that in, and if you have it just a little bit offset, it should end up exactly where you want it to be. And like I said before, that's a 42 tooth instead of a 40, and I should have 50 pounds the acre. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten that sprocket up, and then I'm going to definitely center up this chain drag cog or gear, and then I'm going to tighten up the pillow block bearings, and we should be ready to rock and roll on that end. And then it's just the rebuilding of the spinners and putting the bearings and everything back together. And like I said, I'm going to have this thing in the field yet today. Okay, so this is done. I've got the chain on, I got my sprocket on, everything's tightened up. I have set what the hell you want to call them, set keys. Set screws are all set. Everything is centered. It will turn, but I've got the chain on, so I can't. Next thing on the list of things to do is to actually get the spinners hung up here, and then you know, go from there. So we'll have those spinners put on. I am not going to be putting the plastic sleeves over top of them, which is kind of stupid, but that's all I can say is it's stupid, but I got to do it. You know, one of those things. So anyways, here we go.